23 in AFCON in January, that's for sure.
And I mean, when Velile was speaking now, he touched a bit on just some of, the young players that we've seen coming through. Coach, is that something that you still want to be able to focus on? Because Velile says rightly that the next World Cup is still some time from now. By the time we get to that World Cup, we would have needed to see a new, fresh batch of players almost coming up from a younger age. Are you happy with what you're seeing in terms of the young players that are currently playing in South Africa?
Yes, I'm certainly happy that in comparing with the first month I was here, that also the PSL coaches give chances to young players. When I came here 2.5 years ago, it was amazing how many older players, players from 30 and more, were in the teams. I couldn't believe it. So I started with the national team, also with younger players, and in the beginning it was a little bit strange for everyone that I took the younger players. But younger players are future. And if you don't give them the chance to show their qualities, then they are 25, 26, 27 before they arrive at the point where they have to be. Then it's only 5-6 years and it's finished again. So again, I'm happy that also the PSL coaches give those chances on young players. And I do it since I'm a coach, because it's very important, and he said it already. In 3 years, only in 3 years, there is the World Cup. So take all those players who are now 30.
Yeah.
They will be 33, 34, 35, maybe 36. You can't go to a World Cup with a team who has an average of 29, 30 years old. So you need the younger ones, and therefore already now we started to look at younger players and to select them. There are a few players here now with the 23, and they are in the big list. There are a few other more. So we are preparing little by little that future.
All right, Velile, are you ready?
Yeah.
South Africa, the moment that we've all been waiting for. We hand over now officially to Coach Hugo Broos to reveal to us the 23-player squad that will play for Iningizimu Africa Gay 18 and Gay 21 is November. Umasidlala ne Benin Gay futhi ne Rwanda. Coach Hugo, it's over to you.
Thank you. Okay, let's start. The goalkeepers, Ronwen Williams, Veli Modva, and Ricardo Goss. Defenders, Sidney Moby, Bradley Cross, Grant Kekana, and Konsinati Sibisi, Aubrey Modiba, Sianda Kulu, Mutobi Mvala, and Kuliso Mudau. Midfielders, Tebogo Mokoena, Sibongiseni Medvedva, Jaden Adams, Spehelo Sitole. And forwards, Temba Zwane, Zakele Lepasa, Lebo Motiba, Percy Tau, Oswin Apolis, Mihlali Mayambela, Tapelo Maseko, and Bongokulo Longwane.
South Africa, that is officially the 23-man squad that will represent Iningizimu Africa Guma World Cup Qualifiers as Nge 18 is November, Nge 21 is November. Just a confirmation for you, just in terms of those 23 players that will be representing Iningizimu Africa. And we'll take it from the top in terms of the goalkeepers: Ronald Williams of Mamelodi Sundowns, Velimo Toa Amazulu, Ricardo Goss of SuperSport United. Coach Hugo Broos keeping things the same in terms of those goalkeepers there. Moving on into the defenders, Sidney Moby of Skokuna United, Bradley Cross, a man that gets his first here for Bafana Bafana of Golden Arrows, Grant Kekana of Mamelodi Sundowns, Konsinati Sibisi of Orlando Pirates, Aubrey Modiba of Mamelodi Sundowns, Sianda Kulu of SuperSport United, and Umtobi Vala with Mamelodi Sundowns. Besek Pelela Guma defender Ngokuliso Mudawo Owayoge in Mamelodi Sundowns. Moving on into your midfielders here, Tebogo Mokoena of Mamelodi Sundowns, Sibongiseni Mthethwa of Kaizer Chiefs, Jaden Adams also here first time long call-up for Bafana Bafana of Stellenbosch. Usiphephelo Sithole owe-CD Thandela bese kuthi uba uMthemba Shishi Zwane weMamelodi Sundowns. That is starting off the forwards for you there. And then we see Zakhele Libasa of Orlando Pirates, Lebo Mutiba of Strasbourg. Percy Tau comes back here for Ningizim Africa or Al Ahly. Another starter here for Bafana Bafana in Oswan Apollos, who plays out at Polokwane City. Mihlali Mayambela of Eris Limassol, Tapelo Maseko with Mamelodi Sundowns. And finally wrapping up your 23-man squad in terms of the forwards, Ubonguhle Hlongwane Odlalela in Minnesota out in the United States of America. Coach, it's a very interesting squad, and Velile mhlambe awusinqale ngawe kuqala before we start dissecting in terms of what we're seeing in the few changes in this 23.
Yeah, I think also when you look at the direct changes, obviously Paseka Mako has not had enough game time. Also at Pirates in between now and the last international break, but also good to see someone like Jaden Adams. I thought that he's been very good since the beginning of the season in that midfield for Stellenbosch. And also I think also when someone like Mthethwa left Stellenbosch is taking up that role, and you could see, I mean, if you look at Jaden Adams, you look at David Tatas, you look at Ekrem Reynas, that's a combination. There was a goal that they scored last week, and the combination play just between the three of them is really something special. I can't say anything anymore about Austrian Apollos. Very unfortunate, he was part of a group of under 20 that didn't get to qualify to go and play at the AFCON, coached by Coach Helman Mkelele at the time. The team also had Rowan Human at the same time. So it's also good to see him in the mix now. Also a player who comes from solid academy background from the days of Ajax Cape Town, now Cape Town Spurs, and also Supersport United as well. Bradley Cross, I spoke about him before. He's been at Schalke in the Bundesliga, in the juniors there. He's also been at Newcastle United in the juniors. Trialed out at Kaizer Chiefs, didn't work out, but also made his name at Maritzburg United. And we've seen him being part of a special Golden Arrows team that has started this season under coach Maputi Kanyeza. And I think the coach will also talk more about him because he's also one for the future as well. So I think when you look at those players and also the returning of a player like Maseko as well, I mean, I think the coach will touch on it, but I know that this is not a tournament that has got a lot of friends here at home, the African Football League, but if you look at the quality in that tournament, and this is a player who scored the first 2 goals and crucial goals for Sundowns in this competition, in the absence of attackers in that Sundowns team.
And perhaps, Coach, before you speak to us about the players that we see here now making their debut for Bafana Bafana, we touch a little bit on that African Football League, because we know Sundowns will be playing in the final on Sunday, and we see here in the squad you've got 8 Sundowns players. What do you make of the quality of the competition and what it contributes then in terms of the quality of play of these Sundowns players?
Yes, I have to repeat that I hope that the level of PSL will increase. The level is not high enough if we want to play an important role on international level. Sundowns is outstanding for the moment in Africa. We're talking about Africa.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about international games. When you see you play against Morocco, you play against Cameroon, you play against Senegal, you play against Ghana, all those teams, you don't find one player of the local competition.
Yes.
So that means that those players are playing in Europe. We don't have enough players who's going to Europe. We don't have them. So that means that, and one of the reasons is that the level of the competition is not high enough.
Yes.
So we have to increase it. That is certainly, and secondly, it's not good, with all respect, that Arrows is there and Stellenbosch is there, but Pirates has to be there, Chiefs has to be there, on the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th place, so that Sundowns have to battle every week, because there are 2 teams behind. Now then, you know, it's fantastic that those teams is doing well, but it will be very difficult for those teams to maintain it till the end. So one moment Sundowns will go away again, and they will be champion again at the end of the season with 10 points, maybe 15 points ahead. And that is not a good situation.
And it's interesting you say that, Coach, because Sundowns have been involved in the AFL and they haven't been playing so much PSL. But when you look at what's changed in terms of the log since they've been gone, still no one really putting any sort of pressure on them.
Yeah, but this is also something. You see, you said it yourself. They played how many? 8 games, I think, and they are already several points ahead. So, hey, this is not good. This is not good. And also, and therefore, I pray to the Lord that there will nothing happen in the weekend. But when you see the overloaded program of Sundowns, of Pirates for the moment, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those teams are playing every 3 days. They are traveling all over Africa to play Confederation or to play Champions League. So they don't have rest. And if you ask PSL, then please stop the competition on the 23rd of December so we can give some days off to the players. They don't even look at it. And they play till the 31st of December. I will have players on the 4th of January or the 5th when we start preparation who are still not recovered. And this is not... I'm a little bit frustrated about those things.
It's understandable because, Velile, you would want the players to get a little bit of a break from the season before then they go off to AFCON.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very tough. And I think this has been one difficult season, especially also when you look at how the PSL also has to accommodate the African Football League fixtures, because this is also the season where the PSL, previously they've had 3 competitions, so now they are welcoming back the 4th competition, which is the Carling Knockout.
The CKO, yeah.
You know, so which means that the program is already jam-packed, and how they maneuver around that is going to be difficult. And also they are closing during the whole AFCON break, so it's a dicey one. As I'm talking to you now, Sundowns is behind. They've had, I think, about 3 fixtures since this competition started. When they resume the domestic program post the international week, they would have missed 2 months of the domestic program. So it becomes very difficult for everyone to plan around. And I'm really interested to see how is it going to be when it's 24 teams in the African Football League next season.
It will be interesting. And I mean, at the end of the day, unfortunately for you, Coach Hugo Broos, break or not, the South Africans expect performance and delivery come AFCON 2023, which gets underway out in Cote d'Ivoire in January. All right, let's take a quick ad break. When we come back, we do have our friends, our colleagues in the media joining us here. We'll give them an opportunity as well to ask some questions of Coach Hugo Broos, and we just delve a little bit deeper into this 23-player squad. Stay tuned.